The challenge for him, though, is we talked about the vetoes. So, okay, he said at a stop a couple weeks ago, asked, would you sign this bill, apparently, if it includes a cut to UW? And he said no. That became, he'll veto it if they have that money taken out. Well, his office has not corrected anybody, not pushed back on that assertion, so we're all assuming that he said he'd veto it if they cut that money. What finance did was take that $32 million and cut it, but it put it over this other called a supplemental appropriation. So they can ask for it nicely if they can show they're using it to improve the workforce. Is that enough to placate the governor and give him wiggle room out of his veto pledge? Because nobody I talked to thinks he'll veto the entire thing. There's too much he got in this budget. The $1 billion for K-12 education, the lifeline for Milwaukee, the shared revenue increase. I mean, go on down the list. There are a lot of wins for him and for everybody else. Everybody wins in this budget. Everybody loses in this budget. So they don't see him vetoing the entire thing. What can he do, however, with it? So we talked about before with the positions, okay? He can't write up appropriations. He can't, add back in $32 million for UW. He could cut the $32 million in the appropriation that they put aside, but that wouldn't make any sense, right? Mm-hmm. You're taking money away. His offer, and you went through this process Wednesday night with the Senate where they did this long 60 or 24-page amendment. Most of it was changing language, right? Because he can strike out words. You can't stitch together parts of different sentences to create a new one. But he can strike out words. He can write down numbers. He can't write up numbers. He can cross out punctuation. So they're going from things like may not to cannot. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems small, but if you have may not, that's 2 words. He can cross out one of them and make it may. So a lot of stuff was being done to try and guard against the veto threats. The probably one people bet money on is the top income tax bracket.
Right.
I think that's a pretty good bet that he will veto that one. It's about $740 million of the $3.5 billion. That could go away. But what else can he do? He said in an interview this week, there'll be lots. If he signs it, the caveat, if he signs it, lots of partial vetoes. It's where can he go? Yeah. It's just a matter of how to the Republicans do in guarding against them, and what could he find to do to make it more palatable to them.
Rewind. Your Week in Review is sponsored by the Wisconsin Realtors Association, bringing Wisconsin communities to life with great homes, businesses, and neighborhoods. The Wisconsin Realtors Association, the voice of real estate.